Pozdrav svima ljudi, dobrodošli u moj prvi video, ja sam Strahinja i od danas ćemo se družiti na ovom kanalu. Pre svega, želeo bih da vas zamolim da se subscribe-ujete, lajkujete ovaj video i po završetku ovog videa ostavite komentar da mi kažete da li sam nešto mogao bolje da uradim, šta nisam dobro radio, jer mi to sve znači, jer sam na samom početku. Ja se inače bavim fotografijom i videografijom nepune 3 godine i u ovom poslu sam upoznao dosta ljudi i jedan od njih je Luka Bojević, poznati na Instagramu i YouTubeu kao Lux27. Sa njim sam radio proteklih godinu dana i evo došao je trenutak kada smo išli na neko ozbiljnije putovanje, da snimamo neke ozbiljnije videe, tako da i ja sam to hteo da dokumentujem, zabeležim i samim tim opravam se na YouTubeu da vidim da li je ta platforma za mene, da li nije i tako to ćemo saznati u nastavku. Neka želja za samo snimanje za YouTube mi je bila još kad sam bio mali, ali tada zbog neke osude društva, ljudi oko tebe, nije bilo izvodljivo, mislim barem meni, jer kada krenete da snimate, da se pojavljate negde, mnogima ćete možda da smetate, možda će neko koristiti to da vas ismeva i tako dalje, ali vremenom shvatite da tuđe mišljenje jednostavno nije toliko bitno i samo treba da radite u suštini ono što volite. Ovo je bila neka mala istorija o meni, neću vas puno zamarati, idemo na video.
Evo ga ljudi, krećemo, trenutno je 3:17. Treba da čekaju drugari ispred da me odvezu na aerodrom. Tako da, sad ćemo da vidimo jesu li tu.
Momito si.
Pozdrav.
Pozdrav.
Dobrodošli u novi klip.
U prvi klip. Drugi. A u prvi vlog.
Da idemo to, a?
U Kolumbiju te. Ajde upadaj.
Ajde.
Mi te čekamo.
Evo ljudi, stigli smo na aerodrom. Ja samo hoću zahvalim moje braći Alenu i Johnny-u.
Ništa.
Ne vidi se, Johnny nije u fokusu. Tako da nastavljamo sa klipom.
Pa čekaj, kupiš kartu i nemaš avion.
Pa ako se oslobodi baš toliko mesta, onda se...
Pa nemoguće. I koja je sad solucija?
U tom trenutku donosimo odluku da sednemo u restoran, da vidimo šta će biti sa letom za Kolumbiju. I zbog svog tog razmišljanja o letu za Kolumbiju, u stvari zaboravljamo let za Amsterdam. I tu onda kreće malo trčanja, još malo trčanja, još malo trčanja i još malo trčanja. Ulazimo u autobus, ulazimo u avion i krećemo za Amsterdam.
I koja je sad solucija?
Tako da stigli smo u Amsterdam, stigli smo na gate, međutim, kao što smo rekli, na stand-by-u smo. Morat ćemo sačekamo da se svi putnici ukrcaju i postoji mogućnost da ćemo morati da se splitujemo. Janičić ide sigurno za Bogotu, ne znam kako su njega izdvojili od svih nas, sve su karte kupljene individualno, jedna po jedna. Tako da, preprodali su ih mnogo više nego što avion ima mjesta zapravo. Međutim, mi nismo imali priliku da uzmemo mjesta naprijed u prethodnom letu. A sad kad smo izlazili iz aviona vidjeli smo da ih je toliko bilo prazno, pošto smo izlećili prvi. Tako da se nadam da je ono samo lažna uzbuna i da ćemo da ugasimo vatru, ako ne, jebi ga. Prva sljedeća nam opcija ide da letimo za Venecuelu, za Curacao. Morali bi ostati još 3 sata na aerodromu, pa bi lećeli tamo, pa odatle za Bogotu. U svakom slučaju jebavanje u mozak. Evo možete vidjeti i po facama.
Ovde se ukrcavamo na let za Kolumbiju i pada jedna lagana dremkica do same Kolumbije.
11 hours later.
Konačno, slijećemo u Bogotu, brate moj. Napaćemo. Stigli smo. Kako čini hotel priču, a?
Alo, Beograd na vodi, vidi ga isti.
Vaša na slobodi.
Evo nas ljudi, stigli smo u hotel. Da vam pokažemo malo room tour neki. Evo ovo je dnevna soba i glavna soba. King size krevet za dvojicu i ima ovaj brutalan pokret. Ne znam kako ću da vam pokažem sad odavde, ali da. Šta ti, Luka, imaš da kažeš za sobu, kako ti se čini?
Znate, s obzirom da je Kolumbija, nije loše, zadovoljan sam. ali ima jedino što nam fali nam punjač.
I papuče.
Nismo računali papuče,
Papuče i
nismo
punjač.
računali na ove stvari. Ali dobro, snaći ćemo se. Nadam se da imaju na recepciji.
Evo ga WC. Skromno WC. Tuš kabina. I to je to.
Prvi dan naravno nismo ništa snimali. Taj dan smo ostavili za šetnju, restoran, malo za obilazak grada, upoznavanje samog grada. Tako da bilo je baš zanimljivo po meni. Jer kao prvi put sam u Kolumbiji i sve to. Ali i dalje u tom trenutku dok smo bili u Bogoti, meni taj grad nije odavao neki osjećaj da sam ja zapravo u Kolumbiji.
Dan, dva ljudi, bili smo na doručku, malo istrenirali, sad idemo u centar Bogote da snimimo neke klipove, tako da uživajte u nastavku.
Evo, isti kao Adidas, samo da ima koliko košta.
65.000 pesos.
Šta kaže? 650 ovih. 65.000. 65, koliko je to?
To je malo nešto.
Nikoliko nije.
Okej, just give me medium.
65.000 pesos.
Koliko je 65.000? Tamo je 60 eura, a ovdje je 15 dolara.
Aj sad da kupimo...
Misliš?
Da kupimo po jedan kaiš i da im se vratimo unutra.
Reci, ako nisi jebi mi majku Adidas.
Isti.
Koliko?
Kaiš
Ako ko pita isti.
i da im uđemo u radnju s kaišom sad. I sve po guzici. $65.
Duks. Kako se kaže duks, trenerka, gornji i donji dio reci.
Saco, hay sudaderas de...
Kolumbija.
Give me.
No, this is L. This is long. L, M.
Igual color, negro también, medium.
You have like this?
Ya te digo, a ver si tengo de este medio.
Ja volim kad
Brate,
kuca.
nosiš M kada imaš 12 godina, ja to nosio u treći osnovni.
Ma to. Ne mogu luks dugačko mi je sve,
Nije
znaš.
časti mene u pravu to.
Vidi knap moj.
Na bre, si
I to fake M.
Aj baj, jes.
Kraj trećeg dana ljudi, evo upravo prebacujemo materijal što smo snimali danas. Danas smo manje snimali nego juče. Više smo se fokusirali na to neko upoznavanje grada, na šetnju, da vidimo jednostavno grad. Imali smo čovjeka koji nam je dao više informacija o gradu i nekih zanimljivosti. Bilo je baš lepo. Na kraju dana, eto, išli smo da kupimo neke suvenire za naše prijatelje. A sutra, po meni, najzanimljiviji dan koji će biti na ovom putovanju, bar po meni. Ići ćemo u Medellin, ići ćemo po favelama, ići ćemo da vidimo muzej koji je vezan za Pablo Escobara. Ne znam koliko ću moći da pričam ovako, ali svakako bit će neki voice over. Tako da eto, baš mi je drago što ću moći sve to da vidim iz prve ruke, da čujem i da vam prenesem, da snimim. Ne bi da dužim, uživajte u nastavku klipa i vidimo se sutra.
Šta je poenta? Dan 3, idemo za Medellin. Ne znam još koliko ćete u ovom videu moći da nas gledate, zašto će Medellin biti potpuno odvojena epizoda, ali ajmo u kombi, idemo za aerodrom pa ćemo da vam ispričamo šta se sinoć desilo.
Tako da krećemo ka Medellinu.
Kakav grad? Kakav grad, Arma? Kako je dobro?
Ajde ne idemo dalje.
Dobrodošli dragi poštovani gledalci, ovo je nova emisija MTV Cribs, ja sam Princ Banjice, dođite da pogledate gdje smo se uselili. Ovo je jedno fino predgrađe Medellina, evo da imamo najnoviju veš mašinu, jebe kevu šta radi, pere i prljave i čiste stvari. Vamo imate dečiju sobu i dobro imamo i kenjaru vamo. Imamo ovdje walk-in closet, bato. Gledaj, imamo TV, imamo vama izlaz. Sad da ne pokazujem to je već kurčenje sad, nećemo. Gledaj, pogled na zid. Tu je bio nekad mural Pablo Escobar. Vamo imamo ovoj ormar, ja mislim, ali nisam siguran, ne bi da probam. A ovo nam je dnevni boravak, jer smo tako u mogućnosti. Boravit ćemo ovdje jedan dan. Taj dan da provedemo u dnevnom boravku. Obuci se brzo, obuci gaće. Ovo je glavna spavaća dnevna soba. Kao što vidimo još jedan TV. Imamo divan pogled na glavnu raskrsnicu ovog predgrađa Medeljina. Evo vidite, auta prolaze. Imamo ovdje privatan parking. Boli nas kurac. I evo zvoni mi mobilni, samo sekund. Evo ovdje imamo još jedan walk-in closet, ali imamo skriveno kupatilo. I kenjaru ovdje, snimim kenjaru. Da ne misle da se mi nešto patimo ovdje. Ne znam da li sam propustio još neku sobu. Sve ovo najnovija tehnologija. Ovo nam izlaz da imamo da izađemo odavde, eto to je to dobro. Nadam se vidimo sljedećeg puta. Vamo nam je veliki dnevni boravak. Alo?
Evo ljudi, stigli smo u Medeljin. Prvi neki utisak, Medeljin vs Bogota, Medeljin je mnogo bolji, življi grad. Veći neki utisak je ostavio bar meni. Hotel u kom smo oceli je prebrutalan, vidjeli ste room tour, a sada sledi prava stvar.
Prvo što mi pane na pamet kad čujem ime Pabla Escobara, moć. Ogromna moć.
Samo što manje Kolumbijaca da vidim, sve mi se ostalo dobro. Mada lepši je grad nego Bogota 20 puta. Dopada mi se.
Vidi, mnogo. Iskreno, da nije njega bilo, ja ne bi, znaš kad bi ja čuo za Medeljin i to, realno i to, jel? Čuo bi moj kurac. Mada pratio sam fudbal, bilo dobrih fudbalera iz Kolumbije, ali generalno, to ti ne postoji loša reklama, znaš?
Guys, remember, this is the real place of Pablo Escobar here in Medellin, Colombia, okay? And over here we get real stuff of Pablo Escobar. The history of Pablo Escobar starts with that taxi. The family of Pablo Escobar grew up in Rio Negro, where is the international airport of Medellin. The mother of Pablo at teacher school decided to move here to Medellin because she wanted better opportunities for all the kids. In total was 7 siblings. Pablo was the third one, and Roberto, the guy with the white suit over there, was the older. Only Roberto and Pablo made part of the Medellin drugs cartel, okay? When they arrived here, Roberto was 8 years old and Pablo was 6 years old, and arrived here like a real poor family. For that reason, the mother made a mistake. She confused the location of the school in the downtown of Medellin, and she rented a house at the south of the city, far away of the school. For that reason, the kids walk to the school 4 hours every day in the morning and back again to home 4 hours every evening. For that reason, the taxi driver, the owner of that car, one guy of the neighborhood decided to help them a little bit and move free to the school and back again to home, just to make charity with that poor family. When Pablo grew up, I understand the taxi driver saved them life. For that reason, decided to give new house, a new car, and $150,000 US. The taxi driver gave them the car and let promise. Please still helping the poor people of Medellin. For that reason, the Medellin drugs cartel made a lot of charity action here with the poor people of all the city. The second car, Pablo drove that car when he was a driver. Pablo, when he participated in the rally roads competitions, he always lose. Pablo always sucks like a driver. Even when he drove a Porsche, always lose. So guys, this is the brand of his brother, Roberto, the older brother of Pablo Escobar. With that company, laundered the money of Pablo Escobar in the Medellin drugs cartel. For that reason, nobody suspect nothing about Pablo Escobar before 1982. With this car, Pablo started to move some merch from Ecuador and Peru to here to Colombia. Pablo bought over there cigarettes and liquor and moved here to the city. Pablo started like a smuggler, and with the pass of the time, Pablo listened the rumor of another rental business, the cocaine. For each kilogram that Pablo sold in Miami, Pablo won $40,000 US per kilo. In LA or New York, $50,000 US per kilo. And faraway destinies like Tokyo, Hong Kong, Sydney, and Mumbai, Pablo won per kilo 150,000 to 180,000 US dollars per kilo. Just to Miami, monthly Pablo sent over there 140 tons. That means Pablo made in Miami 5.2 billion US dollars monthly for 10 years. For that reason, Pablo was the richest man in the history of the humanity. And all that business started with this little car. In a normal day, Pablo was in his ranch, La Hacienda Nápoles, far away of Medellin, 4 hours driving car. The police wait for Pablo outside the ranch, and Pablo knew the police wait for him. For that reason, Pablo filled the truck with water, bicycles, and some refactions and sat in front. Pablo escaped behind driving a bike. The police confused Pablo with a professional cyclist team of Colombia and just let it go. Why the police confused them with the sport guys? Because Pablo sends to print and paint that information. Vuelta a Colombia, the signal of the cyclist competition here in Colombia. For that reason, the police confused them with the sport guys and just let it go. Over there, it's real pictures of La Hacienda Nápoles. The real animals belongs to Pablo Escobar. Remember, the extension of La Hacienda Nápoles was the same size of Manhattan Island in New York, 3,600 acres. Pablo built over there for fun dinosaurs with the same size of the original dinosaurs statue, just for playing with his kids like at Jurassic Park. And that's all the animals that Pablo bought around the world and bring here to Colombia to create his safari zoo. This carriage was used by Roberto, the older brother of Pablo Escobar, another drug dealer. He used to train the horse that he used for one competition, Tennessee Walkers. He trained a big champion in that competition called El Terremoto de Manizales. Just because the horse belongs to the family Escobar, the police of Colombia kidnapped it and tortured it for 45 days. Just because the horse belongs to the family, that's all. In the 80s, Pablo get here in Colombia the 1% of all US dollars in the world. But Pablo used the walls or under the ground to hide the money safe. With the pass of the time, the rats eat all the money under the ground, or the humidity destroy the money into the walls. For that reason, Pablo started to build this kind of safe box and put inside gold bars, emeralds, and diamonds. Only in this one, Pablo hid 60 million US dollars in gold bars, diamonds, and emeralds. Because Pablo used security houses to keep safe the money. Security house in the 80s means never stayed more than 3 consecutive nights. For that reason, the police or the people never knew the real locations of Pablo Escobar. For that reason, the money is still missing. Remember, no cash, only gold bars, emeralds, and diamonds. The police found this for accident in a random house of Pablo Escobar here in El Poblado neighborhood, and they report only 10 of the 60 million US dollars. Pablo was furious. Pablo located the police officers, recovered all his money, and killed them. What happened? The family bought again the safe since 2007 and put here when they opened the museum to the people. Okay, this is a real safe box of Pablo Escobar. The last one that appeared 6 years ago in the downtown of Medellin, appeared with 100 million US dollars. The other 33 is still missing around all the city, and it's a mystery for all the people.
What people think about him right now here in Medellin?
Depend of the side of the history. If Pablo bring you a new house or bring you money or an opportunity to grow up, you talk about Pablo like a saint. But if you suffer the revenge of Pablo Escobar, you say Pablo Escobar was a motherfucker. So depend of the side of the history. Yes. For the reason I told the people, the experience of Pablo Escobar, it's like a coin flip. Depend of the side you told your history. For example, this was under the shower in a restroom. Who imagine under the shower in a normal restroom was that fortune? For that reason, the people never look for the money in that random places in any house. The last one that appeared in the kitchen. Nobody imagined the money was there. For the reason it's still missing. And the people don't know the location of the real places of Pablo Escobar. Just suspect a little bit, but don't get the certain of that house belongs to Pablo Escobar or not. For that reason, the people don't know where to start to looking for the money. This is some toys of Pablo Escobar. Remember, the older brother of Pablo Escobar, he was a professional cyclist. Over here it's Roberto, the older brother of Pablo Escobar, when he participated of La Vuelta a Colombia. Roberto was El Osito, the little bear, teddy bear, and he founded a company, Teddy Bear Bikes. The brand OSITO. This is the first bicycle that he created for his company, and that company get 10,000 employees for the reason launder well the money of Pablo Escobar. When Pablo started in the politician stuff, that destroyed the reputation of Pablo Escobar like a businessman, and everyone started to try to get information about the money of Pablo Escobar. This is the picture of Pablo Escobar the first day in the Congress of Colombia. When Pablo arrived there the first day to start like a congressman, arrived in his private jet, the first private airplane in the Colombian history. Pablo never lived in Bogota, he always lived here in Medellin. Pablo hated the weather of Bogota, for the reason he always lived here in Medellin. For the reason Pablo bought that airplane, Pablo flight every morning to Bogota and back here to the midday just to eat the lunch, back there after the lunch, and back here at the end of the day. That was suspicious for the reason the politicians started to investigate any information about Pablo Escobar, and finally discovered Pablo get a criminal life and discovered a file picture of Pablo Escobar when he was under arrested the second time in his life. That was enough to show Pablo was a criminal and expelled to the Congress of Colombia. In 1983, in December 7, started officially the war against Pablo Escobar. Not like a drug dealer, because the Colombian government or the US government never get enough evidence against Pablo Escobar. We know Pablo was a drug dealer, but any judge told Pablo was officially a drug dealer, okay? The first bicycle of Roberto and Pablo Escobar, with that bicycle, Roberto and Pablo went to the school and back again to home. This is the jet skis, the same one that appeared in the famous movie James Bond, Spy Who Loved Me, the first Agent 007. Pablo wants to take a picture with the jet skis, for that reason he sent his brother to Miami, and over there he bought the airplanes used in the film and the jet skis used for the film. Pablo sends to build 3 artificial lakes here in Colombia, in La Hacienda Nápoles, and he took that picture. Pablo bought it just for fun, that's all. If Pablo wants, Pablo gets. So guys, over there, it's more pictures about Pablo's brother, Roberto, when he was a cyclist. Remember, he was a legendary man for the sport here in Colombia. And over there is Roberto, like part of the national team of Colombia. Roberto was a legend of that sport here in our country. He quit that life when he was a...
Sorry, where is Roberto?
Over here.
Yes,
This guy. Roberto quit that life when he was 24, 25 years old. He went to the college, he was an electrical engineer. Roberto designed the submarines used by Pablo Escobar to send the cocaine from the Pacific of Colombia to the Bay of San Francisco. Over there, Frank Sinatra, the singer, moved the drums full with cocaine of Pablo Escobar and moved the cocaine to Las Vegas. Frank Sinatra was a drug dealer. He works with Pablo Escobar. And with this motorcycle, Pablo escaped of his famous ranch here in Medellin, La Hacienda El Bizcocho. The police tried to cuff Pablo over there. Pablo tried to escape, and he found in a lonely road one teenager with this motorcycle. Pablo asked for the motorcycle. The kid let Pablo use for escape, and Pablo promised the kid return the motorcycle in a couple weeks. Pablo did it. When Pablo located again the kid, Pablo bring back the motorcycle completely repaired, give a new motorcycle, a new Toyota Land Cruiser truck, a new house for the kid's mother, and $150,000 US, just for the favor to help Pablo to escape. So guys, in the year 1987, the magazine Forbes showed Pablo Escobar like the 7th rich guy in the world, and they say the fortune of Pablo Escobar was a value of $4 billion. Fake. Pablo get the 1% of the US dollars. Pablo was the first trillionaire in the history of the humanity. If Pablo get that money today, Pablo could be the 7th rich country in the world. That means Pablo was the richest man in the history of the humanity. The magazine Forbes always talk about Pablo Escobar and always tries to estimate the fortune of Pablo Escobar because they try to get more information about that for the CIA. Over here, some newspapers over there talk about Pablo Escobar again, and they say Pablo moved from La Hacienda Nápoles 100 tons monthly to United States. That's bullshit. Pablo made 900 tons monthly here in Colombia, and Pablo sold that to everywhere in the world. Because Pablo used a lot of ways to send the cocaine, and when Pablo made the cocaine, that's because he get the market to sell that.
But by the planes or?
Planes, submarines, boats, with people with this kind of bags, depend of the moment. At the end, Pablo used the liquid cocaine. For the reason you can travel in a plane. For example, he sent a fake bag, the police discovered that and ignored the other line. In the other line, Pablo said 10 times more cocaine. The most smart option that Pablo used to send the cocaine.
How long it was?
15, 16 years.
15, 16 years.
Yes, Pablo was the top. So guys, when Pablo created the liquid cocaine, Pablo moved a lot of cocaine around the world. When Pablo created the liquid cocaine, Pablo used hot water and dilute the cocaine into the water, and Pablo put inside of that water pants. The pants, the cotton, get inside the cocaine. Pablo just let dry with the sunlight, and Pablo prepared boxes with the new clothes and send to any city in the world. In that cities, wash the clothes, take off the cocaine, and come back again the cocaine. For the reason Pablo sent a lot of cocaine. When I told you Pablo was the first trillionaire in the world, I mean Pablo get a lot of gold bars, diamonds, emeralds. Pablo get bank accounts here in Colombia, Switzerland, Panama, Cayman Island. Pablo get a lot of property here in Colombia and a lot of inversions in the world. Okay, for the reason I told you, Pablo was the first trillionaire. Okay, in the history. Over here is the animals of the safari zoo of Pablo Escobar. So guys, try to guess the most expensive animals for Pablo Escobar.
Nilski konj.
Birds.
Birds?
White birds.
That's true, yes. The parrots, the white one and the black one, was a value in $1 million. Pablo bought it and bring it here to Colombia just for fun. These are the other animals that Pablo bought for his safari zoo, and over there it's an air view of La Hacienda Nápoles. Come here. Next to the river, the safari zoo, the playing field, soccer field, heliport, the main house, and the rally road. 18 kilometers just to play a race with the cars and the motorcycles. That's all. That was the summer house of Pablo Escobar. The main house of Pablo here in Medellin, the Monaco building. 8 floors. In the 8th floors was full with all luxury crazy things that you could imagine. Pablo was the owner of the most expensive art gallery in the world. Pablo bought for his wife everything that she wants. Pablo bought the Mona Lisa, the famous paint, but in the 80s he don't found an insurance company to move that paint to here to Colombia. So guys, all the cover was Italian marble, the outside of the building, and all the pipes inside the building was a solid gold. For the reason that was the most expensive place in the world. Over here, the Cali cartel in January 13 of 1988 tried to kill the family of Pablo Escobar, put a car bomb with 80 kilograms of TNT. The explosion led death the daughter of Pablo Escobar. Pablo recovered her audition with expensive surgeries around the world. But today, the daughter of Pablo Escobar, the son and the wife of Pablo, live like a politician refugees in Argentina, in Buenos Aires. Lived there since 1994 and tried to get a new life over there. When Pablo, the son of Pablo, he wrote a lot of books talking about his father, and he sold interviews with good frequency. In internet you could find more information about the version of the family of Pablo Escobar. The majority of that information is bullshit, because Juan Pablo never made part of the business of his father. He always lived in Switzerland, not here in Colombia. For that reason he don't know too much about the business of Pablo Escobar. When Pablo started the politician business, Pablo dressed like his father, like a farmer. For that reason, he connected well with the people. For that reason, everyone voted for Pablo like a congressman. With these bags, Pablo sent the first kilogram of cocaine to the United States. Look, this looks like an accordion. Inside get a lot of hidden spots for your stash. If you wanna know more how Pablo moved the cocaine, come here and look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But Pablo used the hidden pockets to move the cocaine. 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 pockets. With that 5 secret pockets, Pablo moved 1 to 4 kilograms of cocaine to the United States, and the authorities never knew that. Okay, that was the first kilos that Pablo sold in Miami.
This is why.
The man that destroyed the reputation of Pablo Escobar when he was a congressman, the book of Juan Pablo Escobar, the son of Pablo, and Popeye, the hitman of Pablo Escobar. Popeye was the driver of Pablo, not the hitman of the Medellin drugs cartel. This newspaper article destroyed the reputation of Pablo Escobar like a businessman. Before the Congress, the people feel Pablo was like a Robin Hood. For that reason, the newspapers thought Pablo was the Robin Hood of Medellin. At the end of the 80s, Colombia get a deal with Pablo Escobar. Basically, Colombia government proposed to Pablo, please buddy, stay 7 years in a random jail of Colombia, and Pablo accept that conditions. When Pablo wanna know more about the location of the jail, they don't know how to answer Pablo. For the reason Pablo said, okay, if I gonna stay inside the jail 7 years, it's under new 3 conditions. I build my own jail without police officers and not extradited to the United States. For the reason Pablo built his jail, La Cathedral. This is a real picture of the cell jail of Pablo Escobar. Pablo lived there like a king in the mountain, and nobody get access to that place without the authorization of Pablo Escobar. Over here, some familiar pictures. The lover of Pablo Escobar, Virginia Vallejo, Juan Pablo Escobar, the son of Pablo, Juan Pablo and Pablo again, and the wife of Pablo Escobar, Maria Eugenia now. Carlos Leder. Carlos Leder was a businessman of the Medellin drugs cartel. He was in jail for 33 years and he left the jail 5 years ago. The last 5 years he lived in Germany and back here to Colombia 2 months ago. Leder, yes. Over here, El Mexicano, he was richer than Pablo Escobar because he was the owner of the emerald mines here in Colombia. He committed suicide in the North Caribbean Sea of Colombia because the police killed his son and he committed suicide for the pain. The Colombian government say they killed approximately 5,000 people, but it's more than 5,000. Roberto, the older brother of Pablo Escobar, the police of Colombia tried to kill him when he was inside the jail in December 18 of 1993. Sent a letter bomb. The letter bomb exploded on his face. For the reason today he is partially blind and deaf. The wife of Roberto, Claudia, cared his healthy for 5 years into the jail. She arrived there at 5 a.m. and left the jail at 6 p.m. She cared his healthy, yes, and she tastes the food in case of the police try to kill him with poison. And over here it's Gustavo, the cousin, the best friend of Pablo Escobar. The police captured him in his house and tortured it in front of his wife and his daughter for 2 long days. The police cut some fingers, the police broke the arms and broke the legs, and finally put the head in the middle of the door and started to hit the head with the door and broke all the skull. He died like a loyalty man because he never said nothing about Pablo Escobar to the police. Nothing. With Cali, both Juarez and Guadalajara works for Pablo in Mexico. Chapo Guzman is another generation of different than Pablo Escobar. Never made business with Pablo Escobar. Just for mock them, Pablo opened a gate, stand up literally behind the bars, and Pablo dressed with the Russian hat in the Cold War, Versace sweater into the jail, and let the door open just to say, fuck you Bush, this is my place, this is my home, this is all mine. 5 million for the principal business partners and 2 million for the hitmans. Otto died protecting Roberto in the jail. Arete is alive. He completed 11 years in a Spain jail.
Arete is alive now?
He is alive. Yeah. And still there in Valencia, in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now he's a priest. Negro Pablo and Cachuchino died into the jail. So guys, if you look there, this is the replica of the cell jail of Pablo Escobar. If the bills, the cash, and the maps. So guys, this is the real cell, the real jail of Pablo Escobar. The real prison of Pablo Escobar. In the second floor, private apartments for Pablo and his men. In In the first floor, pool, jacuzzi, sauna, casino, restaurant,
Čovjek je imao kazino i saunu i bazen u
everything.
zatvoru. I restoran.
Today, it's breaking down. The Colombian government demolished because the people once looking the money, and now it's only ruins. Over there was empty. There was a rumor. The people say we found money, but because they need help to destroy all the jail. From Bolivia, Peru, and Ecuador arrived here to the Amazon jungle in Colombia, the base to prepare the cocaine. Over there, prepare everything to move the cocaine to the center of the country, and over here, move through the Pacific, Atlantic Ocean, or through all Central America to the United States. And over here, one map of the movement of the drugs of Pablo Escobar.
Brate, on ga je slao i u Australiju, razumiješ?
Yeah, this is the price per kilo.
Ljudi, došli smo u jednu od favela, nismo u onoj najopasnijoj u kojoj smo bili prije, ali postoji mogućnost za snimanje, što je mnogo bitno. Favela Robleo se zove sad i vrlo vjerovatno ćemo da idemo sad u dio gdje ima i droge i oružje i svega, sad će sve to da nam prikažu.
La diferencia es que las del poblado tienen platica y siempre se van a ver bien, pero acá en el barrio también hay mucha mamacita, mucha.
Ima mamacita ovdje mnogo.
Sí.
Pero bonitas?
Sí,
Recimo, najljepše žene su Kolumbijke, tako sam čuo.
Nos hubieran dicho que más bonitas mujeres del mundo son de Colombia.
Sí, y más acá en Medellín.
Medellin.
Princu, šta kažeš?
Napušte mi se kurca svi, pičku mater. Te impresionira, dođi ko mene da vidiš ovo, brate, uživo. Gledam ovdje, ovi da me ometlaju za 20 dinara, nemoj me snimati.
Pazi glavu. Sí, dale, firma.
Da šedemo.
Ovo smrde voda.
Neka meni je vodka.
Jel devetka?
No.
Sad ćete misliti da se sprdam. Ali sad data mi ih je 10 ima. Ne jedan, no 10. Što tvoj nije ima, jel? Šok. Kaj pa je to ubica, brat?
Kao GTA.
Znaš kako to sreže, brat? Ali taj ne može da maši, jer on samo prošara ovako. Spušti ga dolje.
Nema zakočen, jel?
Nemoj ga dirati.
Nemoj dirati.
Pušti ti što je zakočen.
Can we make photo with you?
Odmah čuče.
Prvenstveno ćemo da im se zahvalimo što su nam dopuštili da dođemo ovdje i da imamo priliku da ih upoznavamo.
Primero agradecemos porque nos...
Koliko dugo godina već živi ovdje u faveli?
¿Cuántos años vives acá?
Yo 50 años viviendo acá, pero yo he vivido en España.
Llevas 50 años acá. Pero...
Desde que nací, yo tengo 58 años aquí, tengo en este país 50 años.
50 godina.
Da li pamti neke ratove, da li učestvovao u ratovima?
¿Te recuerdas de unas guerras de narcotraficantes?
Muchas, aquí hubo demasiadas. En este barrio hubo mucha historia, muchas masacres.
Da li imao neke situacije da je jedva preživio?
¿Tuviste unas situaciones complicadas acá?
Pues viviendo aquí demasiadas, porque aquí hubo carros bombas, gente que mata, muchos sicarios. Aquí hay una generación que ya está muerta, pelados muy jóvenes, que todos se murieron porque eran muy sicarios, muy malos.
I krica nekad nekoga to me interesuje.
¿Pegaste un tiro a alguien?
Alguna vez uno, pero eso no se dice.
Ahí es sí, dice odmah.
No, sincero, hermano.
Policaj! Provalio me.
Kad bi opet imao život iz početka, da li bi živio isto?
Acá siempre ha sido violento y todo, pero aquí se vive muy bien.
Adiós. Ej! Zgotivili su nas svi u favelu.
Što se tiče favela, neki moj sada trenutni utisak kada sam se vratio i kada je sve to prošlo, i dalje je cool iskustvo, cool doživljaj, jer jednostavno ne mogu te stvari da se vide baš svugde, a tamo je to nekako uobičajeno. Tako da ljudi, stigli smo do kraja videa. Ja se nadam da mi ovaj video stvorio neku minijaturnu sliku o Pablo Escobaru. Žao mi je samo što nisam mogao nešto više da vam snimim, jer u Medellinu smo bili samo jedan dan i tu jednostavno nije bilo prostora za neko snimanje. Da li su sad ove informacije 100% tačne ili nisu, ja to ne mogu da znam, niti bilo ko od nas. Ali mi je drago što sam mogao da čujem, da vidim i da vama prenesem šta se tamo zapravo dešava i kako sve to izgleda. Tako da, eto, u suštini to je to. Ako vam se svidio ovaj klip, lajkujte ga, ostavite neki komentar, pozitivan, negativan, sve jedno je, znači mi svakako. A mi se vidimo u nekom sledećem videu. Ćao!